Bung Bung. Welcome to the Poddy is brought to you by Bung Bung Coffee. Some of the best coffee that you can get, and by some, I mean the only premium coffee that you should be drinking, and once you've tasted it, you'll never go back to the bullshit that tastes like dirt, covered in rotten. Did I just swear? Okay, this
30
is
seconds in.
Yeah, this is not the the clean episode of the Welcome to the Poddy podcast that we'd hope for, but this yet again dirty episode of the Welcome to the Poddy podcast is brought to you by Bung Bung Coffee, the best modern dark roast that you can get. This stuff really, I mean, it gets me going. I don't know how to start my day without it. Board man, what do you think of Bung Bung Coffee?
Love it, man.
That's great.
Same boat.
Go to bungbungcoffee.com, enter the promo code PODDY, PODDY, for 15% off all orders. That's 15% off all orders. No minimum order, no maximum order. And start living your life like you're supposed to today. BUNG coffee.com. Let's start the show. Welcome to the party. Best show on the internet. Ask anybody. You know it's easy money. Sit back, relax, get your headphones, everybody. Welcome to the party. Blackout in the booth. Every episode's a party. We go hard like Ricky Bobby. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Welcome to the Party. Welcome to the party, bung bung. It's your man Claytron, aka the Big Boss Man, aka the Clumsy Jeweler, because I'm always dropping gems, aka the Milkman, because I always deliver, aka the PhD of podcasting, the Magnum PI of podcasting, the Captain. The man, I'm like the Cheech and Chong of podcasting because I'm mad relaxed right now. We got Board Man back in the house. I don't need to press any buttons. We're here. We're relaxed. We're feeling good.
We're back. It's been a while. Just nearly 2 months.
I think it's at least 6 weeks. Yeah. How are you feeling being back on the ones and twos?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, got to warm these fingers up and start hitting some buttons, I think.
Yeah, man. Get the sound bites just like blasting away. No home loans.
How about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I only podcasted 2 days ago, so I don't really know what to talk about. I can't even remember when I used to podcast twice a week. I don't remember how I used to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of content.
Yeah,
a lot of output.
But we've changed the day of the party. We've rescheduled. We're doing this on a weeknight to free up
easy
our
money.
And it's like, I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And if we want to go out and play golf and shit, it just like minimizes the pressure of like, we've got to record, then we play golf. Then I got to like fucking grind and edit, like stay up all night editing and all that. So, I'm keen for it. And then it's going to give me, it's still going to release on the same day. And it'll give me like just under a week to like edit, and I can maybe make the editing a little bit better, a bit smoother, more graphics and stuff like that.
Yep. No, if I miss a sound drop here and there, you can chuck one over the
top.
Chuck it in. A bit more time.
Chuck it in there. So that's all I got. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next. No.
Catch you later, guys.
I honestly don't even know what to talk about. Has something happened lately, or there was a school shooting?
Yeah.
I just don't know. There's so many of them. I don't even want to touch on them because this is a comedy podcast, and I don't know how to make that shit funny. The US is fucked.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Okay. Sports.
Straight into it.
We need a segment. Battle for divorced dads.
It's looking good.
There's only a couple weeks left, and it looks like I've got it in the bag.
Yeah, need you
honestly.
to just shit the bed this week and get 0, hopefully. But.
Out of the, I don't know how many. If we bet weekly, well not bet. If we tipped weekly, 4 tips a week. I mean the I don't know how many weeks the season goes for, but surely we have the opportunity to score over 100 points.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, a bit less maybe, but close to it.
Let's say 80.
Yeah.
Let's be like very conservative.
Yeah.
We have tipped so infrequently that the scores with 2 weeks to go in the season are 12-9.
Man. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
12-9. And I've got to say, I've had a couple 4s out of 4, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, 12-9. We got 2 weeks left. I've really got to shit the bed for you to come out on top.
Like violently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last round was so long ago. I'm not even going to recap it because it was like mid-February. I'll go over our picks, which we did off camera. Over the next week, starting today, the day that this episode drops, Orlando to beat Detroit in Detroit. These are my picks. Orlando over Detroit, LA over Houston, Miami over Detroit, and Golden State over Oklahoma City. So I'm really hoping for Detroit's downfall. And then Boardman's got Sacramento over San Antonio, Cleveland over Indiana, Denver over Houston, and Phoenix over San Antonio.
Let's go.
And they all sound like good picks for both of us, which is not what you want to hear because you want me to go over here.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
No, I'm not going to hold my breath.
But people, like we said when we were making the picks, people might just start resting guys. Who knows?
Yeah, it's getting to that time of the year.
Yeah, but like you said before, out in the West, no one's really locked into any positions. It's, I don't know, you're only going to rest if you don't care about losing your seed number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think teams like LA who are fighting to be in the playoffs, really.
Yeah.
They need to keep going. Denver could rest, but like you said, do they want the top seed?
Yeah. I think you want the top seed in the continuity.
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm big on the word that I'm missing.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Momentum.
Yeah.
I'm big on momentum. I don't like being rested. In the leagues I've played in, there's often been you finish top, so you get a week off. Always hated finishing top. I like to play every week and just keep it fresh, keep it going.
Yeah, got too much time to think otherwise.
Yeah.
Or you could go the other way and just get complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there, but it looks like you're going to be fronting the cash for the Battle of Divorce Dads.
Yeah, it's looking that way. So
yeah.
Need to start making plans soon.
Yeah. But is there any more news in the NBA? I know Luka has expressed some frustration.
I was about to bring up the Mavs. I don't think we've actually had a chat about
Kyrie,
since maybe he just got traded there, but I don't think he played.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's not looking good over there.
I haven't watched any games yet. I've seen they've both been putting up pretty decent numbers. Luka's have probably fallen off a bit, but of course, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luka's numbers have dropped a bit. Kyrie's playing well from what I've seen.
Yeah. I think it's just interesting looking at their record ever since Kyrie went there. So when I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but when one's playing and the other's not, they tend to win games. But when they're both playing together, they've got a losing record.
Yeah, I saw that.
But they're both good enough players to make it work, and things like that don't just happen overnight. So if Kyrie re-signs there, I can see them faring a bit better next season if they pick up some more complementary pieces.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whack roster.
I think Luka is so talented, but I think he's a James Harden.
Yeah. He's had a lot of talent around him, or different pieces that they've tried.
Yeah.
And nothing seems to be working.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing that I thought would work was Kyrie. I mean, they're both so ball dominant, but Kyrie's done it. Like you said, we talked about it. Actually, we did talk about it because you said that, I mean, he played with LeBron, who's ball dominant.
Yeah.
And I mean, that worked out in a championship, but ultimately not as a friendship, it would seem.
Yeah, what would they have, like a 3-4 year run?
Yeah.
Together?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know what happens there.
I just think it's the roster is just not built around those two correctly.
No.
For them, not built in a way for them to succeed, I
No.
guess.
I think I think Hardaway can't be a part of it because he's not a catch and shoot guy. He's a dribble.
Off the dribble.
Yeah. I kind of like Christian Wood, JaVale McGee as a part of it.
The McGee thing's interesting. Like they paid him a bit in the off season.
Yeah.
It was meant to be like a big acquisition, but just he's been getting like DMPs some games
Yeah.
or real minimal minutes.
Yeah. We'll see what they do over there.
I think they need to re-sign Kyrie though. Like if they just let him walk and get nothing in return after the pieces they gave up to get him.
Yeah.
Especially after fumbling the bag with Brunson, letting him walk.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
even if they re-sign him and trade him, they can't just let him walk in free
no.
agency. No. We'll see though.
And the way that works is you offer what you offer, and people are able to either beat that offer or.
I've got a feeling he's unrestricted. So if he doesn't want to be with the Mavs, even if they offer him like 20 million, for example, if another team that he wants to play for offers him 10, he can just choose that offer.
Right.
But if he was restricted, he'd have to go to the highest bidder.
Right. Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Wow. So he's on. So if he just doesn't want to be there, he just won't be there.
I think so.
Oh my God. Because I mean, what did they give up? Dinwiddie and.
But who's going to want to pick him up though? Every team he's gone to has just he's burnt to the ground pretty much. Except Boston, they came out of it all right. Every other team's just gone to shit.
Yeah.
That's picked him up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what his whole.
And I'm a Kyrie fan, but that's just what's happened the past like 5 years or whatever since he left the Cavs.
Well, even the Cavs.
Yeah, even the Cavs didn't end ceremoniously there.
Yeah, I mean they got a ring out of it, but yuck.
Yeah,
it was so dramatic. Everything's so dramatic where he goes.
Yeah,
yeah. Even Boston was dramatic. At least the team came out okay, but it was dramatic, bro.
Yeah,
yeah. So that guy's just an absolute fool. What else? There was something else that just happened. Oh, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I saw that video popped up in our group chat the other day.
Yeah. What did he say? I actually didn't click on it. Do you want to play it? Do you want to go into Safari and go into Facebook? And it should be in the messages there. But
I think it was just something along the lines of I'm a professional and I'm doing my job.
So did he get booed or something?
He's just made comments about Boston fans being like racist, I guess. Not all of them, but just saying there's a contingency of them out there that, yeah, just the way they treat their players is always some like racial undertones.
Right. But only to him.
I can't remember. I got to find this quote.
Is it just because he is friends with Kyrie? He seems to back Kyrie. Like every time Kyrie makes a wrong turn, he seems to like veer in the same direction. Yeah, he seems a bit like one of these cats that thinks he knows it all and is smarter than everyone else. And like if you keep dribbling the fucking ball off your knee, I don't really care what you got to say, my guy.
Is he still doing that?
Bro, he sucks.
I haven't watched too many Boston games this year.
He doesn't suck. His handle though, like his handle is just so like nutty.
I've got the video here.
Jaylen fans gave you a pretty loud ovation in the fourth quarter coming out. In the light of your recent comments about your future here, did that mean a little more?
I just come out every day and just do my job. That's all I'm focused on.
Is that it?
That was it.
Yeah, he's an idiot. So he made comments about the fans. They made an effort to baby him because he's such a pussy. And he wants to continue being a pussy. I'll tell you where I don't want him to go. Chicago. I don't want dudes like this. I don't want a Westbrook. I don't want a Kyrie. I don't want a KD. And I don't want a JB.
Do you want your current team?
I don't want this team, but out of all the players that I've named, only two have rings. One had to go to Golden State during a dynasty run to get his.
Wow.
And the other guy went with the greatest player. Well, what didn't go with was drafted to the team with the greatest player of all time.
Greatest player of all time went to him.
Yeah. So, I don't care. I don't want any of those four on my fucking roster. Now, do I want Zach LaVine? No. Do I want DeMar DeRozan shooting 15 middies a game? No, not really. And missing 3 threes a game? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about our contracts and stuff to know like what we could do, but it's not Chase one of those idiots.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know anything about your contracts either.
Yeah. But those guys are just a bunch of fucking losers that cry all the time. I'm not into that. Fucking exhausting.
Yeah, you summed it up. Don't really have too much to add on this.
I don't even want a Kawhi. If I've got a superstar on my team, I want him to play games.
That's pretty crucial, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm living in that city and I'm paying money to go see my team play, I want to see the best players play.
Yeah, the Clippers, man, they've had a rough run with these injuries.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cursed franchise.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't even... Everyone was giving them so much juice because the team on paper, but I don't know why people keep thinking Westbrook on paper is good, because on paper to me Westbrook is trash. I don't want like, now that he's not shooting as much, he's looking way better actually, but I don't want him.
Yeah, I don't know. Westbrook's got me a bit stumped because I think like he was playing for my team like the past season and a half,
yeah.
And I was just like, get this dude off the fucking court.
Yeah.
But then he just has games where he can like swing a game. So someone like that could come in handy in the playoffs, but more often than not, it's been kind of detrimental.
And what's he done in the playoffs though?
Nothing is the alpha.
Why would he come in handy in the playoffs when he's never come in handy in the playoffs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Now that he's on his downfall, you want to hope he just sorts it out in the playoffs? Like,
no, but as in like if he can just swing one game, man. If you got Kawhi and Paul George carrying you most of the time and you just need that spark for one game, that's all it takes to swing a series sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't trust the Clippers.
Not saying he's going to do it, but I'm also like, it's Russell Westbrook. It could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably won't, but could.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm probably not on the same school of thought as you.
Fair enough.
I'm on the verge of calling him washed, I would say.
I'm not going to argue with that. Not at the height of his powers, but he still can be a handy NBA player.
Yeah, I think he had a double-double the other day, like 15 and 12 or something, 12 assists. Like that's not easy to do in the NBA. So if that's you on your way down, that's pretty fucking handy. But like it's like the shot taking is nuts.
Yeah, some questionable decisions.
Like for good shooters, and he's not a good shooter, and he's just like taking bad and difficult shots. I don't know. I just don't know what his IQ is like pretty good until it comes to shot taking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's very strange. It's very strange. Like I can never, it's confusing to watch him play a lot of the time. I don't want to sit here and just bash Westbrook. Yeah.
Hey, playoffs around the corner. We'll get some answers. So.
Yeah, we'll have to do maybe next week. We'll have to do we'll wait until everything's confirmed and then we'll do like a playoff bracket.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Was there any more drama in the league? LeBron James said he went to LeBron James of doctors. That was really annoying.
Yeah.
He's healed faster than anybody with this injury ever has. That was really annoying as well. But pretty standard for that guy. His son was in a dunk contest.
I think he jumped over his other son. That's the only video I've seen from it.
Yeah, and he didn't win, but he's the only.
Oh, he didn't win it.
No, but
Okay.
there's all this Bronny footage. It's I can't even believe, and I know we weren't in the world of social media back then, but even Jordan's sons didn't benefit so much from being Michael Jordan's sons. You know?
No, the most I've ever heard about Jordan's son is that he's dating Larsa Pippen now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's all I know about Jordan's son.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do to make headlines is bang your dad's ex-friends, or not even, ex-teammates' ex-wife.
Crazy. She's fucking nuts for that.
And didn't she like bang one of his teammates too? One of Scotty Jr.'s teammates?
I think it was Malik Beasley. But like he's coming out and saying, no, that never happened because he's married.
Right.
Wild.
She's for the streets though.
Yeah, dude.
You know what? We're gonna go to Clay's reviews, I think. Comedy, action, or horror. Will this movie win an Oscar? Set design, directing, acting, lighting, or costumes. This segment is Clay's reviews. All right, I've got a list here that I haven't gone through yet. How long are we? How are we looking?
22 minutes.
Jesus, I just don't know. I don't feel funny today. I don't know why.
Is it the time of the day? Is it just throwing you off a bit?
I do think it's because I recorded 2 days ago.
Yeah, okay.
Like I haven't had any experiences since that recording. Today I went to a client's place. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's probably breach of confidentiality, but he was a hoarder and I've never been in like an actual hoarder's house before. And it was like, it was sadder than it was gross.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like it was like it didn't stink or anything. Like it was like, it wasn't disgusting. But yeah, it was like really sad to see like.
Like what type of hoarding are we talking? Like collectibles or just.
Yeah, collectible, not like old newspapers and shit, like collectibles, like, yeah, a lot of toys in boxes. But then like, I think I don't want to, there's nothing identifying that I'm going to say. I think he can't get out due to injuries. So I think he just like sits on eBay instead of sitting on like Netflix or playing video games. He's an older guy, of course he's not going to play video games, but like, so he just like spends all his time on eBay and just like buys and buys and buys. So I don't even know I can't tell if he's loves the toys or if he's just got a spending problem.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I don't want to get too much into that. But that was interesting at least. That's the only interesting thing that's happened to me in 2 days. Yeah. Because have you ever known a hoarder?
No, I don't think so. I feel like I've accidentally tuned into one too many shows that I feel like I know a hoarder, but it's all just been shit I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, this was like nuts. And then like Rachel's a hoarder for sure, but she's in a relationship with me, so I won't let it happen. But like if she like for some reason ended up in her own house by herself, bruh, it would be a problem. Because she has so many clothes that she won't get rid of. She's like recently started to get rid of them, but like she puts this weird level of what's it called?
Sentimentality.
Sentimental value, but like for the smallest thing.
Okay.
Like it'll be like, oh, but I wore this when I went to dinner with so and so, and it's like, oh, was it their birthday or funeral? You know, like what? No, well, no, it's just nice.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, well, okay, you need to see somebody ASAP, and then, like I'll go to throw out one of my old shirts or something that's got like a stain on it or like it's ripped. She'll be, oh no, that'll be mine. That's okay. I'll have it. I'm like, why? She's just
Yeah,
like,
okay.
she doesn't want anything to leave the door in a bin bag.
I used to be a little bit like that.
Right.
I used to be. I think my mum's a little bit like that, so that might have been where I got it from.
Mm.
But then I got to an age and I was just like, nah, this shit needs to go. Just snapped
Yeah,
out of it.
right. Yeah. And then there's things like I broke a mug and yeah, she did, like the level of upset that she got over this mug. And I was like, look at all those mugs we don't use though.
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, oh, but it was so nice. I'm like, yeah, it's like, how nice was it? Did it fucking, walk you across the street, or was it just a fucking mug?
Yeah.
Nuts. She's out of this world.
Yeah, got to get the lemon lady some help.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, Clay's reviews. I watched this documentary on Netflix Christmas Day. This is how long ago I watched this. Meru, Meru, and it's just a documentary about these people that climb this mountain, which I think is called Meru.
Meru Mountain. It's
Yeah.
the first thing coming up.
And it was pretty, like, it's so long ago watching it. It was pretty interesting, man. Like, I think someone, I don't want to give spoilers, but it was like emotional, and like intense, like the kind of injuries and like even psychological stress they put on themselves to do this stuff. Yeah, it was pretty interesting for something that I'm not into climbing, but I was like into this doco. So if you can make a doco about subject matter that people don't care about interesting, job done.
Yeah, there you go.
Which I was like Last Dance. Like, people that don't like basketball watch that and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
But
And that's what this was. It was the last dance of mountains.
yeah, so I've just read it's the most difficult to climb in the world.
Right.
Not as tall as Everest, but harder to climb.
Yeah, there was I remember, now that you say that, there was scenes that they were like camping in tents suspended in the air for the night,
That shit's so crazy.
I would never.
Absolutely fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So no one has successfully made the ascent up its shark's fin.
So does that mean they've all died, or they've stopped and gone back?
There must just be like one particular sheer wall that no one's ever been able to climb.
Yeah, right.
Which doesn't sound that surprising.
No.
But yeah, okay. So where do we get to? Did you rate this or not?
Did I say it out loud?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
7.5 out of 10.
There you go.
Pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, I watched, again on Netflix, a film called Jexi, Jexi, starring Adam Devine, from Workaholics. And basically, have you seen Her? Joaquin Phoenix?
No, I don't think I have.
Well, I'll rate that next because I also watched that. But Jexi is basically the comedy version of Her. So Adam gets this new phone, and the operating system is like intelligent and falls in love with him. And he's like dating it for a while, and it ruins his like thing with the real life girl and all the fun stuff that happens with that, right? And yeah, it's pretty silly. God, it's hard reviewing stuff that you watched so long ago, man.
Yeah, you got a good memory, dude.
Yeah.
I can barely remember shit I watched bloody last week.
It just, I can't even remember if anyone else famous was in this, but yeah, it was just a bit of fun. I can't give you too much on it because I don't really remember, but yeah, it was like the comedy version of Her is all I can say. 6 out of 10. Did enough. And now if I move on to Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix and the voice of Scarlett Johansson, I like to call her, but people call her Johansson. I used to go to school with a girl called Scarlett, and she had a brother named Jack. So that's just a bit of trivia.
There you go.
And this one is Joaquin works at like a letter writing company, but it's like an online company. So people Like, if you're my girlfriend, I want to write you a love letter, but I'm no good at writing. I just contact this company and I say, she's got a dog called Carlos. She's got a pool table. That's what she's into. Write a love letter for us. And then he's a wordsmith and he writes these love letters with this technology. So he just says it into like a mic and the computer like does this lovely handwriting and then he posts it like,
This sounds really familiar now that you're describing it.
yeah. And so it's like to me, it didn't really say where they were in the world or what year it was. It seemed like it was a futuristic type of thing. And so he goes out and there's this new operating system that comes out, which is like it's in your phone, it's in your home. It's like it's like a Siri.
Okay.
But / Google Home. Like it's everywhere with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he falls in love with it. But then it gets to a point where that's normal and everyone it's very common for people to be in a relationship with their operating system. And it sounds so stupid and I don't know, pathetic. But the way they made the film made you believe that it could happen, and I do believe that could happen. There's some pretty sad cunts out there, and you almost already do it.
Yeah.
Like if you fall in love in an online relationship with someone you've never met, that's basically that.
Yeah, especially if you're not talking on the phone or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's purely just.
Well, this thing talks.
This thing talks to you.
Yeah. It's the voice of.
I'm just looking. So this came out in 2013. I recken I have seen this, but it
Yeah.
was a while back.
It's
remember all
old.
the details.
Yeah, so that was the way they did it was so believable, and it was something that I didn't think that I would care about, or I would just like laugh at like the patheticness of it. But like I really felt for him. It was crazy. Like when spoilers. It's a 2013 movie, but like you also like if people haven't seen it and then they listen to the review and they want to watch it, you don't want to fuck it up for them.
Yeah, maybe don't fuck it up. I know they've had 10 years to watch it, but
yeah, but basically, yeah, I felt for the guy. Like and I didn't think that I'd be capable of feeling for something in a film that seems so like it is far-fetched, but it's not.
It's not.
Yeah. So 8 out of 10 though.
Okay.
It was pretty impressive. Glass Onion.
Yeah, I haven't watched this. I tried to. I think I got 5 minutes in and I was like, no, this isn't for me.
Did you watch Knives Out?
I think that's the one I watched. No, wait. Is one a series and one
No, they're both
movies?
Glass Onion is the sequel to Knives Out. And I think it's like Knives Out, Glass Onion.
I think that's the one we
Yeah.
started watching.
Knives Out, I don't know what I gave it. Maybe an 8.5. No, I loved it.
Okay.
Glass Onion, I liked it about as much as I like onions, which is not much.
Yeah, you don't like it.
This shit was so dumb. It was a waste of time for, let's call it 2 hours. I don't know how long the movie went for. The whole movie was a misdirect. And then like 90 minutes in, they're like, just kidding. This is what it is. And it's like, we've talked about this before because we talked about Sweet Girl, I think it was called. And it was Jason Momoa is the girl's dad. And he's like going crazy. He's like taken, right?
Okay.
And then right at the very end, the camera just like flashes and it's the girl. And she's just remembering her dad while she's doing all this stuff. And it's like, so the whole thing that happened, what didn't happen, it was the girl. So it was just all a big misdirect. And when I reviewed it, I didn't reveal that. But I'm still so mad at the movie that no one needs to watch it. And there's the spoiler for Sweet Girl. But this was very similar in that they lead you up the garden path. And I guess this is a spoiler because now you won't invest in the start now that I've said this. But you shouldn't because it's a waste of fucking time. They lead you up the garden path and then you get there and you're just like, oh, okay, now I get it. And they're like, idiot, this is it.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah. 5.5.
That sounds generous. I haven't seen it though, so maybe not. What's getting it to a 5.5?
It's hard to remember.
Like, is it so it's somewhat entertaining up until the point where they just fuck with you?
There's some like Daniel Craig's a great actor.
I know it's like a star-studded cast, isn't it? I think that's what I was going to watch because I was like,
Edward
this can't
Norton.
be bad. There's so many like good actors in it.
Yeah, you got Daniel Craig, Edward Norton, Batista.
Sorry, this is the 2022 one we're talking about.
Yeah,
Like the
it
newest
came
one?
out on Netflix.
Yeah.
And my God, bro. Does it say on there what like IMDb gave it?
7.2.
Yeah, so I'm 2 points below that. So you got to know that I'm on the right track with this. You got to know, like, I'm not up there with the fucking just the general mouth breathing public. I know what I'm talking about, and 5.5 maximum score.
Yeah, you gave it a 5 on IMDb.
You can't give them 0.5. And I wasn't giving it a 6. I was not giving it a 6. No, thank you. So yeah, and you know, I'm a creator, so I don't want to give shit scores. So I give them the maximum it's worth, maximum, and it does not get a lick more than 5.5 for this movie. Next one I watched, and this is very interesting because I'll give you the score first for this next one. This next one was a 5.5, but an enjoyable 5.5.
It wasn't too bad.
Okay, so as far as like, you know, the technicalities of film, this was not up to scratch, but entertainment-wise, probably boosted it a few points. Because if you're looking at purely like, you know, lighting, sound, acting, set design, costume design, music, this shit is probably a 3. But the entertainment level got it up to a 5.5.
Okay. And I'm assuming you went into this one with lower expectations compared to like the star-studded cast. I don't know what the movie is, so it might be star-studded still.
This is kind of star-studded, but I had to go into it with lower expectations because the first Knives Out was so good that you would have expected something at least.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe a 0.5 drop off from the first one. It was so good. This one here, I'd heard of. It had Kevin Dillon in it, who's Johnny Drama.
Oh yeah.
It had Nick Swardson in it, who is like you seen Grandma's Boy?
Don't think so.
Reno 911.
Actually, I've seen Grandma's Boy, but I can't remember.
What else is Nick Swardson in? He's one of Sandler's boys.
Okay.
He reminds me of my friend Jossie. Shout out to Joss. Who else is in it? I forget the difference. I think it's Josh Duhamel's in this, but I get for some reason I get Josh Duhamel and Timothy Oliphant confused regularly. Pop some pictures up for everybody to see. Timothy Oliphant and Josh Duhamel, and tell me that I'm crazy for getting them mixed up. These guys are split up at birth or something.
Who's the other one? Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, I think it's Josh Duhamel in Buddy Games. And basically it's just shit, like,
yeah.
Do they look similar?
Yeah, they could easily be brothers.
Okay. Put that up. Maybe with like a sound effects.
That is correct.
So basically it's just a boys' trip, and it's like a tradition, and they fight for this trophy every year, and it's just different games where they'll have like a obstacle course, which is super intense because Josh Duhamel's character is like rich, so he's got like this lake house and they can set all this shit up. So I mean, like by obstacle course, I mean there's a portion where you jump on an ATV and you drive, and then you got like an electric like it's just like all these rubber straps basically that you got to run through, and they all electric shock you as you're running through it, and like so it's like this epic weekend where they play all these dumb games. They go out to a bar and they all chug like laxative, and they have to pull it. I think it's pull a chick. No, they've got to make out with a chick before they shit their pants or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they play all these games for the weekend, and it's just like a good buddy comedy. Boys, girls could enjoy it. I watched it by myself, so I don't know what Rachel would think. No, actually, I can imagine Rachel just being on her phone the whole time for this one. But yeah, it was fun. It kind of made me like. I think I talked at the start of the year. I had like this obscure Olympics day with a bunch of my friends. It reminded me of that, but like for people with money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so I was laughing a lot because guys can be idiots.
So
when it
what
comes
was this called again?
Buddy games. And I'm a huge Kevin Dillon fan. Like I think he was probably the most talented out of the 4 guys in Entourage.
Yeah, Johnny Drama was hilarious.
Except for Ari, like he's not in the group of boys though, but his name is come on now. Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
He's next level. But Johnny Drama was my favorite character because he was so, I thought he was so funny, but I thought he was like, in terms of the acting out of the 4 guys, I thought he was the best as well. Yeah, but 5.5 for Buddy Games. I absolutely loved it. I thought it's
like a
sensational
5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not because it's not anything special in terms of like just the idea of it, the execution of it. But it was just a fun 5.5 to watch. This next one, so serious. It's a documentary, limited series on Netflix. The Pharmacist. Pull a clip up of The Pharmacist from And1.
The Pharmacist.
You know about the opioid epidemic in the US.
Yeah, not like extensively, but I've heard about it going down.
So there's doctors' offices that have this reputation for just
like dispensaries almost.
Yeah,
opioids.
They're nicknamed pill mills.
Yeah, okay.
And basically, some doctors that had completely lost their complete sense of morals or anything would take cash from people and be like, "Yeah, here's a prescription."
Right.
And this small town, I don't remember where now, but I'm thinking Oklahoma, had the most deaths per capita. No, it might have even been most deaths, not even per capita, in the United States for opioid overdoses.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. And this pharmacist, his son got killed. He drove out to Section 8 or Section something, which is a bad part of town where he didn't belong because he was trying to buy some crack, and he got killed in his car. And his dad just became obsessed with solving his son's murder. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And he started at work, he was seeing these prescriptions come in for children for like huge doses of like oxys and all this shit. And he's trying to like tell the cops they're not doing anything. He's calling like the medical board. He's doing all this. And basically it starts as him trying to solve the murder of his son, and then turns into him trying to stop a nationwide opioid epidemic. And I don't want to say any of the results or anything, but documentaries, they're almost the easiest type of film to make. You don't have to find sets, build set, but they had so much home footage from this family that I couldn't believe it, because it was all from like the 90s, the home footage, where people didn't just have phones, to film everything.
Like go out of your way to film shit, really have an intent.
So he had so much home footage. He set up recording stuff in his car, and he'd go and pick people up, drive them around and question them. And so he's got He's got he tapped his own phone, so he was recording police phone calls, suspect phone calls. Like he went full like sleuthing, man.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, they had all this footage, all this recorded audio, and then obviously just like the talking heads as well. It was sick. It was sad, but it was so good. 8.5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you get like, don't give anything away, but you get a sense of closure at the end.
Somewhat.
I'm sure it's still ongoing. But
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like that epidemic's still going.
Yeah.
But there's
Okay.
4 episodes. I think they're like an hour long. I think Rachel was out one night and Kenny was having a real good night's sleep, and I think I banged him out in one night. Yeah. I couldn't I think Rachel got home and went to bed, and I was like, I cannot come to bed.
Yeah, I know the feeling when you're pretty invested, you just want to finish it, especially such a short series.
Yeah. No, that was so good. This next one, I'm going to go through this real quick. It's on Netflix. It's called Blockbuster.
I have seen that pop up, but I haven't watched it.
It's a sitcom, I guess, about the last Blockbuster store, and it fucking sucks, man. 4 out of 10. That's all I've got.
Okay, yeah, 4.
4.
Fuck, is that the lowest?
No, I've given one. I've definitely given ones before, maybe 2 or 3 ones. I'm not sure if I've gone as low as a 0.5 before.
Okay.
Possibly. I did watch a horror with housemate Dan, not to be confused with roommate Dan, where the whole thing was like, it was like Skype calls and text messages. Like it just looked like no one put any effort. I think that was maybe a 0.5. I don't remember what it was called. But I know the first one I ever gave was The Human Centipede. Part 2.
Part 2. Okay.
Part 2.
Because
Yeah,
As
I remember the
fucked up
first
as
one.
It is part 1, like
That was actually pretty
there's
good.
a little bit of, I don't know, like artistic integrity
Yeah,
in it.
yeah, no,
And
that
then,
was
like,
actually pretty good, even though it was so foul. But part 2 was. Did you watch that one?
I've seen 2 and 3.
Right, I haven't seen 3. I'm assuming that's worse than 2.
Worse than 2. Far
Yeah.
worse than 2.
So yeah, it was basically a retard, bleep that, with a hammer,
Yeah.
and he did a whole train of them instead of 3 people. It was disgusting and shit. And they did it in black and white, thinking they were fucking artistic or
Yeah.
something. Nah.
Trash.
Don't bleep that, leave it in. So the other one I reviewed was it was called The Good Nurse. And I think I gave that a 6.5. That was on Netflix. And basically it's a true story. And I went over this in the Lemon Lady episode, but then I went back and I watched the documentary of the real thing. And it wasn't. I went to watch it to get more information and like get more into it, and it didn't give me shit, and so I was pretty upset with it. So I gave the Good Nurse a 6.5, and I gave the documentary, which is called Capturing the Killer Nurse, I gave that a 6 because it didn't give me what I was looking for.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting story though. Like this nurse, basically. I think they ended up getting him for 14 murders. Like in secret, like stealing meds and putting them in people's bags.
Like while he's at work.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were slow deaths, so he wouldn't actually be on duty while they die. Yeah. Their insulin to spike or something when he was off duty. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's nuts.
So they've got him for 14 deaths. But they reckon that he might be the most prolific serial killer of all time, and that they think it could be like more like 150, but he's not admitting.
Yeah. It'd be so hard, like in hindsight, trying to like track all those and see what the actual.
Yeah, but I think the way people were
Was it
dying at hospitals during his time working there, I think that's how they like. Oh, all these similar deaths were probably him, even though he's not admitting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's super fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6 out of 10 because they just didn't do shit in the dock. Amsterdam. I watched this on Qantas. I watched this on the Qantas flight. It was actually across 2 Qantas flights because for like the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes, they're just showing their stupid fucking Qantas thing about put your seatbelt on and don't smoke cigarettes. And then on your way down, and then there's 50 announcements as well. And then you got to pause while you say like, yeah, I'll have the chicken. It's the worst way to experience entertainment is while you're on a plane. So I watched half of it on the way to Perth from Melbourne and half of it on the way to Adelaide from Perth. And it was star-studded cast again. So we've got who's Batman? Christian Bale. We got Denzel's son, John David Washington. Taylor Swift was in it for a quick second. Rami Malek, Margot Robbie. So you see this, right? And you're like, fuck, this is going to be nuts. Now, was this the one? The thing that intrigued me about this film?
Far out. Yeah, this is crazily star-studded. I'm looking at the whole cast now.
Oh, who else is in it?
Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah, De Niro was in it.
Callback to Timothy Olyphant. Mike Myers.
Oh, Timothy Olyphant had mad makeup.
Zoe Saldana.
Oh, yep. She breaks her arm. Yep.
Yeah, no, a few others that I'm not as familiar with. Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's a lot of people in it.
Lots of people in this movie.
And it's like a kind of mystery sort of thing. It's kind of based on a true story. I don't know how much so. Which, you know me, I'm a sucker for a true story. But this just didn't do it for me. There was the one thing that really blew my lid was that there was like jazz, like smooth jazz playing for the whole film, which I didn't realize till I was about halfway through. I was like, oh, they just really have this vibe going the whole movie, which was interesting. Who directed it? Does it say?
David O. Russell.
I don't even know who that is, but I wonder if he's like if he's got a history in like music videos. You know what I mean? Because I was half impressed and half surprised by that. And the story was good. I just didn't think, it just didn't grab me, and it could have been the plane's fault because I had to pause every fucking 2 seconds. But I could only give it based on my experience 6.5.
That's pretty disappointing after seeing that cast.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? I was also sleep deprived.
Okay.
Who knows? But you know, it didn't do enough for me to go back and watch it again with more sleep. You know, I can't watch it again. 6.5. The hatchet wielding hitchhiker. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No.
This guy was in a car with somebody. He was hitchhiking, and the driver ran somebody over and then got out of the car and attacked a lady, and the hitchhiker jumped out of the car and bludgeoned this man, the attacker.
Wait, this dude?
Yeah, that's him. That's the hitchhiker. He gets out of the car and attacks the attacker with a hatchet.
I've seen like snippets of this dude, like I feel like years ago.
Yeah, it's really old. Well, the thing happened a long time ago, but the documentary is quite new.
So this guy's a fucking murderer.
He didn't kill the guy, I don't think. I can't remember. It's worth a watch.
Because I just remember, sorry to cut you off, but like there's that It's like him being interviewed.
Yeah.
And he's just a full tripper. And I
Yeah.
think that's why it went viral.
And so at the start of the interview, the guy like asked him what happened. He's like, yeah, man, before I like say anything, dude, like everybody out there, like you're totally loved and everybody loves you. And even if you don't feel loved, you're totally loved, man. Anyway, like he gets out of the car, man, and he just goes over there and I just went over there and I was like, wham, wham, ooh, wham.
Yeah, you nailed that.
Yeah.
Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything, you're worthwhile. No one could ever take that away from you. Now, this stuff right here, I was driving and I was in the passenger side of this f***er's car. He's like, you know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ and I can do anything I f***ing want to. And watch this, bam, and he smashed into this f***ing guy right there, pinned him in between that f***ing truck, and Buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I f***ing ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash, smash, smash.
I haven't even waked the kid.
So fucking long ago that I remember seeing this online. But
Yeah.
okay.
So
there's a pretty interesting backstory to it then.
Yeah, and then he sort of got famous. They were putting him on like Jimmy Kimmel and stuff, and they just follow the story. And yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, just the execution of it, I guess, is everyone in present time sort of talking back about it. Some people sort of like, I don't want to give too much. Some people thinking that they could see what was going to eventuate in the future, and I don't know. I just didn't like. There probably wasn't enough of maybe police interviews, or it was just all like, it seemed very opinionated.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than like fact-based. Yeah. So it ended up being a 5.5, but another recommended 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got another Qantas one. Smile. Have you heard about this one? Because this one went kind of viral for their advertising. So they had people at baseball games wearing these T-shirts that just said smile, and they would just do this creepy smile to the camera while they're in the stands at the baseball. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. No.
The movie is quite creepy. Basically there's just a chain of events where people do this creepy smile at someone, like, and then attack and kill them.
Okay. Just at like any given time.
Yeah.
In public sort of shit.
Yeah. And so it's like the mystery of like why this is happening.
Okay.
And also the fear of like who's next. And then like, jump scares and all this kind of like it was I was hoping for more, honestly. I kind of like the I think the and I might be looking too deep into it, but I think it might be like based around mental health trauma, because like people like smiling through like this foul shit they're about to do. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't know. Maybe
just
I'm
thrown off. It's been described on Wiki as a supernatural psychological horror. But
yeah, I just didn't know. Well, if they're naming it as that, yeah. So basically, as a supernatural, it's like a demon spirit that's inside these people, and then it gets passed on. So anyone who witnesses the trauma gets this beast, and then they're going to do it to the next person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So they get possessed. Yeah. I didn't know if that was a giveaway or not, but I think it explains it pretty early in the movie anyway. So, but yeah, I based on the marketing of it, like it seemed like so big. I thought it was going to be like the next Conjuring. I thought it was going to be like fucking crazy, but it wasn't that good. 6.5. But if you like to get scared a little bit from time to time. I guess it's worth a watch. Next episode, there'll be more to talk about. There'll be more, hopefully, activity. But, I only podcasted 2 days ago. Whatever. No excuses, but I'll be ready next week. I'll be ready to be full, retarded. Bleep that. And we'll go crazy next week. We'll have a few close reviews, and maybe check the emails and get some advice. Yeah. Hopefully there's something in there.
I'm gonna hit some sound drops next week too.
Yeah, hit some drops. Double drop if you have to. But you know what it is. It's the Welcome to the Poddy podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Bang bang.